Hey there everyone, this is Mark Gomes, PTT Research. How's it going? Today's topic is going to be PTT Research's internal research methodology. Of course, all of you are familiar with the PTT methodology. For you, our followers, this is where we provide lessons and instructions on how to use the PTT picks and includes videos, CNBC, Peter Lynch, Warren Buffett, and Warren Buffett's teacher, Benjamin Graham. Lots of great stuff in here and packed with content to help you become a much better investor and hopefully a millionaire. Now, behind the scenes, there is also an internal research methodology. Our public methodology is to help you utilize our picks effectively. But where do our picks come from? Well, that's our internal research methodology. And I'm going to walk you through just a couple of the things that we do that a lot of others don't in their research process that makes ours work so well. And today's a good example of this, today being September 2nd, 2014. And we have a company called Cons, ticker symbol CONN. There's nothing you need to know about them. They're actually taking quite a beating today on the earnings announcement that they put out. And they're a specialty retailer. And of course, as you know, I've been bearish on four walls retailers. If you have stores, you are probably getting squeezed by internet-based retailers like Amazon and Google is coming in, and you're going to see Facebook and Alibaba. Everybody's going to be involved here, and that's going to be very troublesome for these retailers. So why do we care about Cons on a day that it's down 30%? Well, as a retailer, we can get insight into what they're seeing out there. So we took a listen to their earnings call and wanted to see what's happening in the TV segment of their business. And of course, as you know, one of the companies that we picked to triple a while back was Pixelworks, and we keep them on the radar screen, of course, to determine whether or not we want to bring them back as a pick at some point. And so as part of the Cons conference call, we got some insight into what's happening in that section of the country where Cons operates. And what we saw is, despite a rough quarter for the company that saw the stock getting pummeled today, within that terrible quarter, they had consumer electronics were up 8%, TVs up only 1%. Look what happened to Ultra HD TVs. It was 13% of LED TV sales in Q2, and that rose to 21% in August. Okay, so we're seeing a tremendous spike in demand for Ultra HD TVs, which of course should be positive for a company like Pixelworks, who has some of the best Ultra HD TV technology out there. Just as positive as that growing demand is that some of the Ultra HD TV prices are now below $2,000. Under $2,000, I'm telling you, my friends, I bought a couple of TVs maybe a year ago, and I think those are going to end up donated to friends, family, or charity, and I'm going to get myself some new Ultra HD TVs for the home at those price points. And of course, not surprisingly, the TV comps were positive for Labor Day. And finally, Cons mentioned that they view the TV comps as an important driver of the company's total comps. Now that's very interesting, considering that Con has de-emphasized consumer electronics in favor of furniture and mattresses. So in a segment where they have de-emphasized sales, likely because of competition out there, they are still counting on this segment, TVs, this growth, to drive total growth for the company and help them stay afloat in this trying time. So it's amazing the kind of nuggets you can get in the most unsuspecting places. I'm sure a lot of you look in some of these places, some of you may not, But the lesson is you got to be looking everywhere, and this is part of what PTT does for you with the full-time help that we've got on board. We are in the double digits in terms of employees, and we are busting away full-time to find nuggets of information like this and pulling it all together to determine what it means for the stocks we're picking for you. Now, Gartner Group is another source that we utilize. A conference call like cons is something that everybody can access, but not everybody can access Gartner Group. It's a very expensive product. It takes up a good chunk of our research budget. We have several other products that we subscribe to. Gartner is just one of them. But as you can see, where we did our little search for Pixelworks, a number of research reports come out in our search, as well as an analyst recommendation, and we can contact Gartner with our high price subscription and request a telephone call with this analyst or any others that are aware of Pixelworks, what they're up to, and how they compete, most importantly, against the competition out there, how they stack up. And of course, so armed with all of this information, we're able to build our risk-reward charts. We're able to look back, and this chart's fine, figure out how fast the company should be able to grow, how fast it can get there, and what the company should ultimately be worth, and determine if it's a pick that we need to provide only to members of our PTT pipeline product who get our shorts and our non-picks to triple, or our PTT research product, which is the exclusive home of our picks to triple. And of course, in this case, we believed back here that the stock could triple in value based on what we were seeing out in the marketplace and based on what we saw in the long-term risk-reward chart. And then, of course, within that risk-reward chart, we were able to build this short-term risk-reward chart. Be sure to know the difference. Go back to the PTT methodology, and there we teach you how to tell the difference between a short-term trend line and a long-term trend line. I also provided a video not too long ago showing how we build a risk-reward chart using the long-term lines, which should be based on the company's future growth, and the short-term trend lines that will be based on technical analysis and market psychology as investors become more excited about a company. Right? And in this case, this is just a closed-in chart, a little over a year worth of information, very short-term in basis, and it shows very nicely how Pixelworks did indeed, thanks to the research that we did, end up going from a lowly stock with no volume to a stock that tripled in value. Okay, and now of course, once it tripled, a large number of our members follow the methodology, sell the stock, maybe a little too aggressively, or maybe we got out first. There was some volume up in here, and then perhaps the rest of the world, maybe our non-subscribers, got a little nervous and figured out what was going on, and they got out as well. And you see we got the stock back down in this lower zone where we like to think about buying the stock. Certainly at these levels, we don't think the stock is poised to triple from here to 20 very easily, so we haven't made that call. But for those of you who like to play some of our picks beyond the triple level, not that the methodology espouses that, but if you do, this is the way to do it, certainly, to keep an eye on what companies like Gartner Group and what the conference calls for peripheral vendors are saying about the space in which they play, to give you an opportunity. And certainly those of you who bought down here in the fives have been treated to a quick $1 gain. So that's just a little bit of insight for today. We'll provide more in the future, just so you understand and can have some confidence in the work that we're doing here at PTT Research. Of course, all of this is part and parcel of a methodology that has taken decades to formulate, based on the mentors that I was lucky enough to have, the education, as well as the teachings of folks like Warren Buffett, Peter Lynch, and of course Warren Buffett's mentor, Benjamin Graham. So, through thick and thin, through ups and downs, PTT Research is here to help you get through market gyrations and find the winners in the stock market to help you become rich like legends like Peter Lynch and Warren Buffett. So hopefully you can become a multi-millionaire making multi-millions, and who knows, maybe even a billionaire like Buffett someday. So until next time, this is Mark Ohms saying take